her responsibilities are broader. So there's that kind of give and take to come up with.
Like where's like the mayor's driver that we? I know the mayor has a driver now. Where's that here?
I have not hired a driver for the mayor.
John, it's a contract employee. So did we disclose that, or does that chauffeur not appear on the budget? How does that work? So how do we fudge that?
Pay for it.
How do we sort of
I believe it's through our security guard contract. When, as needed, he requests the assistance of a driver or a guard. We provide it.
Because I saw we had like an $80,000 or a $90,000 item for miscellaneous transportation in our budget briefings and meetings. I know when I mentioned it, everyone like turned white, but you're not going to get beat up today. He's not here, so tell us about the chauffeur.
It's for you.
Right, okay. Pull your microphone closer. You're too tall.
The May 29th retreat, we did talk about adding that cost to the CSL for FY16. So in 15, we had to fund it from contingencies. In 16, we baked it into the CSL going forward.
I think it's okay, like, to do all your baking, but I think it's important that we let the public know these kinds of things. It's just, more.
Mr. Vice Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
What is a CAO paralegal specialist?
The city attorney's office paralegal.
Oh, okay.
Hey, John.
I was trying to figure out what CAO was.
City attorney.
How much is the chauffeur costing us?
I believe it's a program. Maybe is Chuck here? It's more. I think in some it's around 90,000. That sounds correct. But I think it encompasses more than just the driver. For example, I think it's security and some different aspects.
Okay, and is that fully loaded, or is that on? And then there's so it's contract, so we don't have to pay a pension on that.
Correct.
Okay. All right, because that should show up in the budget somehow, like with less baking.
Well, if you in the budget message itself, which is attached to the
No
budget
offense
item,
to the driver.
is attached to the budget item. We did go over a lot of the changes to the CSL, and we did go through it at least with the commission in pretty good detail at the retreat. Because once we got past that point, we set the CSL, and then the enhancements and efficiencies and those things are what changes the numbers.
And where are the additional public relations people that we have in the mayor's office? Where are those? Where do those appear?
All but one position are in the mayor commission office. One of them is budgeted in communications, but basically reports physically in the mayor commission office.
Oh, so our office has the employee, but it gets paid for out of another. Because we have an extra 4 employees that we never had before. So I'm just wondering how that's being paid.
There's a communications position that works in the mayor's commission office, and that comes, and we provide that out of communications. The other positions are all out of the mayor commission budget.
So you're saying the 2? I think we have an extra. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 extra positions. No, I think it's Jordy and the woman that sits in probably can't. She's really nice. And then there's Gloria. That's 3. The Victor is 4, but I know he got out of it. Yeah. I just wonder. I just like to see these things. I just think it's important for the public to know how much these budgets are going up with all this public relations.
If you happen to have your proposed budget document,
yes, sir.
Page 425, where we have a position summary in detail for every single department, you would see there the various positions and how they may have changed over time, at least since FY13.
So for instance, our budget in our office, has that changed?
No, the positions were all changed, I believe, last year, following the new commission's arrival.
So how many extra positions have we hired? From our office, we pay for 2. Is that it? And then somebody else pays? Another department pays for it?
It looks like it's at least 2.5, maybe 3, and then there's 1 budgeted in communications.
Okay.
But since that was almost 2 years ago, I don't have the detail on me, but we could.